right now on 5 on Your Side at 10.
Tonight, a youth football team waits outside the hospital, rooting on their coach over FaceTime as he recovers from a gunshot during team practice. Now his mother is talking about her son's prognosis.
Brisk and not bright this weekend. The changes happening Friday that whip up the breeze and bring rain chances back to the bi-state.
But first tonight, home from the war zone.
It feels so good.
It's wonderful.
You have no idea. I'm thankful for the U.S.
St. Louisans landing at Lambert, safely returning from Israel. Tonight, Israel is ramping up its response against Hamas following Saturday's horrific surprise attack. Good evening, I'm Mike Bush.
And I'm Ann Albrecht. Right now, darkness in Gaza City. And when the sun comes up, it will likely shine a light on more devastation. Israel hammered the Gaza Strip with airstrikes, and Hamas fired rockets toward Tel Aviv on the war's 6th day. A ground invasion is imminent. Israel says it will keep attacking Gaza until Hamas is destroyed. More than 2,800 people on both sides have been killed, including 27 Americans. Starting tomorrow, the U.S. government will arrange charter flights to get American citizens out of Israel.
But a few lucky ones have already made it home, including 5 people from the bi-state. Our Brent Solomon is live at St. Louis Lambert International Airport, where 2 joyous homecomings took place. Brent.
Mike, less than 3 hours ago, we were right here as the first of several Parkway West High School students landed at St. Louis Lambert International Airport. I stood right here and spoke with a father who waited for his 17-year-old. Tonight, he's so relieved she's out of harm's way. Take a look at your screen. You can see that emotional homecoming. Just moments ago, Katie Wallace, one of 3 teenagers from our area who have been in Israel studying abroad. She's the first to make it back home. When she went away for what was supposed to be a 4-month program, she never imagined she would find herself at the center of a war. This evening, Wallace was comforted by her parents as she landed in St. Louis. Right when she got off the plane, I asked her how this moment feels.
Mostly I'm just sad for Israel. I mean, like, as soon as I landed in Boston, I've been traveling like all day. I just cried because I'm just so sad for what Israel's going through right now. And I'm so sad for the hatred that's already here. But at the same time, I have hope. I have hope for Israel. I have hope for the U.S. Our community is stronger than this.
Earlier this week, we brought you her story in an interview from Israel, where she described having to run to bomb shelters multiple times a day. This week, her school gathered to sing Israel's national anthem in a gesture of goodwill towards their classmates. And tonight, even more stories of escape. We were also right here as a Metro East couple landed in St. Louis. What was supposed to be a vacation quickly turning into a frantic rush to get out. Waiting has never been easier to do.
Still don't see it.
Especially when you know your loved ones are out of the path of danger.
It's been a roller coaster of emotions.
With signs in hand and patience in tow, the Rowe family stood by, anticipating this.
Hi, Daddy.
Oh, goodness.
Thursday evening, Danny and Carmen Rowe made it home from war-torn Israel. The Godfrey couple went overseas for a church trip to the Holy Land. On their first day there,
About 6:30, the sirens started going off.
And we thought they were just sirens,
They're
that
like-
warning sirens
yeah.
here, test sirens.
it didn't take long for reality to hit.
And we could hear all the explosions in the background. So we were about 35, 40 miles from the Gaza Strip area. And we realized the danger we were in and the possible danger. They wanted us to leave the country.
They were
So-
urging us to get out as soon as we
possible.
possibly could.
It took days for that to happen. Flights constantly being rescheduled and canceled. Their days spent running into bomb shelters while trying to figure out how to escape.
You never heard the sirens go off unless a bomb got through the Iron Dome. When the bomb got through the Iron Dome and the sirens went off, you had 1 minute to get to shelter before you would know where it was going to land.
When they got the call a flight was finally available, they rushed to the airport. Several flights later, they're back.
Ground them so that they don't leave the country again. No, we're going to let them rest, take them dinner, and just let them recover. It's been a long couple of days.
You can take my passports now.
Now, the couple was able to get out of the airport and into their car fairly quickly because their luggage never made it with them. It's stuck in Germany. After everything that they've been through, that's the least of their worries. Live at St. Louis Lambert International, Brent Solomon, 5 on your side.
Tonight, a bipartisan show of support for Israel on the steps of the U.S. Capitol. Members of Congress held a candlelight vigil to remember all the lives lost. Right now, more aid for Israel is at a standstill with the U.S. House still without a speaker. And just hours ago, Congressman Steve Scalise of Louisiana, who narrowly won nomination yesterday, announced he's dropping out.
Developing right now, a major backup on I-44 from Pacific to Eureka because of a deadly crash. We're talking about the westbound lanes. Here are some live pictures. The Missouri State Highway Patrol says this crash involved a car and a semi. The passenger of the car died. Tonight, a young boy is safe. His father is in police custody after a hostage situation in New Melly. This happened around 6:30 tonight near the entrance of Lake Sherwood Estates. That's right on the border of St. Charles and Warren counties. Police say a man took his 7-year-old son hostage, and then he tried to drive away, but he drove over police stop sticks and was arrested. We're told the boy was not physically harmed. Tonight, breezy, very mild October night. Cooler air is on the way for the weekend, but not before some showers and storms move through tomorrow. Weather First Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell is tracking the timing. Very warm today.
Yeah, temperatures topping out around 80 degrees today. We're still close to 70 in town tonight. Clouds are beginning to increase across the region, and our chance for some showers and some thunderstorms increasing probably right after tomorrow morning's rush hour. There's a live look out at Lambert right now, where it is still right around 70 degrees in St. Louis, 71 to be exact. On the backside of the system, a lot colder. That's some snow falling across parts of Nebraska back into parts of Wyoming. This is a pretty strong storm system, and it's been wrapping up a lot of moisture with it. So Futurecast is actually bringing in those showers and thunderstorms towards the end or after the morning rush hour tomorrow for the Metro St. Louis area, maybe a little sooner off to the west and northwest. But this first batch will come in most likely right after the morning rush hour in St. Louis, push away towards or a little after lunchtime. So the first rounds mainly before lunch in the Metro, a little later south and east. And then we have another round on the way for later tomorrow afternoon of scattered showers and storms. We don't expect severe weather here. 1 or 2 of the storms could have some downpours, but overall there won't be a lot of really big rain totals out of this, unfortunately. We'll see in a few minutes. We'll tell you what comes behind this front, Mike.
All right, Scott. Well, tonight, this man is in jail, accused of shooting a volunteer football coach during a practice just 2 nights ago. Darryl Clemens is charged with assault and armed criminal action. And new tonight, our Robert Townsend has more on the new developments and the growing support for the recovering St. Louis coach.
Tuesday night, his family, friends, and football team were all worried after getting word that volunteer coach Shaquille Lattimore had been shot during a practice at Sherman Park in North St. Louis. Lattimore rushed to a hospital in critical condition.
I heard the gunshots. I dug down. When I looked down, I saw Shaq on the ground. The injuries that he had were very, very severe.
Incredibly, now
Shaquille is doing amazing. He's up. He is sitting in a chair today. They've removed all of his tubing. He's a fighter.
The 30-year-old coach is grateful, Mom.
I'm very pleased. I'm happy that, God is blessing.
Parents and 9-year-old Dylan Bunting and his bad boys teammates are all rallying around the recovering coach who survived the scare of his life.
Very sad.
Why?
Because he is a great coach and he didn't deserve to get shot. He wants us to be great and everything.
Investigators say the suspect, Daryl Clemens, shot the coach because Clemens' son wasn't a starting player on the youth football team. Coach Shaq was grazed and shot 4 times. Bullets hit him in his back, leg, arm, and armpit. You bet his mom calls him a miracle.
I thank everybody that's called, the texts, the prayers, the support. I appreciate it. I appreciate it all.
You're also tearing up.
I am, because it's just, it's amazing.
An amazing day capped off with a surprise FaceTime call from the bad boys to their cool coach everyone's pulling for. Robert Townsend, 5 on your side.
Tonight, the Blues dropped the puck on a new season deep in the heart of Texas. They faced off against their Central Division rivals, the Dallas Stars.
Dozens of Blues fans gathered tonight at Ballpark Village. This game, by the way, went into overtime and a shootout, and Corey Miller will have highlights later in sports. The Blues' home opener is against the Seattle Kraken on Saturday. The puck will drop at 7 p.m. You can take part in the fun even if you don't have a ticket. There's a pregame rally. It'll be held from 3 until 5:30 at Union Station. And for all you need to know about the Blues home opener, and if you're coming to a game at Enterprise Center this season, all you have to do is text the word BLUES to 314-425-5355, and we'll send you a link.
Tomorrow, the hottest sports ticket in town will go on sale. City SC is headed to the MLS Cup playoffs in its inaugural season. City Park could host up to 2 round 1 matches later this month. Tickets will go on sale to the general public tomorrow on SeatGeek. But, and it's a big but, with 94% of season ticket holders already securing their seats, these tickets will be limited.
Tonight, we're searching for solutions in New Orleans, a city that keeps taking hits and picking itself up.
You certainly don't want a Katrina to happen to your city, but billions of dollars came into New Orleans.
How the Big Easy is banking on its past to cash in on its future.
We were using historic tax credits to do the work. And St. Louis certainly qualifies for a city that's got a lot of history in it.
Thunderstorms have been well to our west this evening, where this line is headed and when our rain chance ramps up as we head toward the weekend.
All year long, 5 on Your Side has dispatched reporters to cities across the country searching for solutions that could possibly work right here in St. Louis. We went looking for the best return on investment from federal COVID funds and the Rams settlement money.
But what happens when those funds run out? Tonight, our political editor, Mark Maxwell, is searching for solutions in New Orleans, where he found engineers tapping into new pots of money to draw blueprints for the future of an historic city.
We've explored the challenges shrinking cities face when people pack up and move out. In Detroit, they got to work racing to knock down vacant properties. But in New Orleans, many of those old buildings have deep roots and often deeper meaning.
A German immigrant named Grunwald built this hotel in 1893, just in time for upcoming Mardi Gras celebrations.
This is an important piece of real estate in New Orleans.
Owners later named it in honor of President Teddy Roosevelt for building the Panama Canal, bringing a bustling boomtown through the port city, and thirsty workers downtown where bartenders served the city's iconic cocktail.
So you're in a very famous bar in New Orleans called the Sazerac Bar.
We met the Roosevelt's general manager, Todd Chambers, in the same bar where another infrastructure champion would come along not long after. Governor Huey Long used to drink here.
So, you know, it's steeped with history.
Those pages tell stories of struggles and setbacks in a city founded before the nation itself. A city that stood strong until disaster struck in 2005.
You certainly don't want a Katrina to happen to your city, but billions of dollars came into New Orleans to help kind of refresh the city of New Orleans.
But even with all the federal aid, historic buildings like this one sat vacant for years. Then the housing crash hit, driving values lower.
When they bought this hotel, it was an enormous risk.
Other cities with similar problems, vacant properties with prices underwater, might benefit from the strategy they used here.
Of course, we were using historic tax credits to do the work. And St. Louis certainly qualifies for a city that's got a lot of history in it.
The vibrant culture and rich history of New Orleans is what draws so many people here for the first time. But it's that same rich history that may hold the keys to the city's future.
Without tax credits, we couldn't have redone this hotel.
Developers used a combination of state and federal historic tax credits to preserve the building's storied past.
And we had to make sure we adhered to the way the place is supposed to look, feel, smell, you know, from back in those wonderful days.
Without public funds?
You just couldn't have done it. There was no way to make those numbers work. So it allowed us to take this grand old historic hotel, completely fix it, modernize it, and reopen it.
That grand reopening breathed life back into parts of town people had left empty.
This was the catalyst that actually grew back the rest of this area, including our theater district. They were still all shuttered when we redeveloped this hotel.
And the strategy is catching on all over town. Developer Marcel Wisnia had blueprints in place when the pandemic hit.
We had to problem solve.
The problem?
When we look at the impact of what we're dealing with today in this world post-COVID, one of the major impacts that we see is that brick and mortar retail is not expanding.
So they flipped the bottom floor of this building into a boutique hotel and bar. And in this one, drew up plans to create a mixed-use living space. Instead of companies renting shared co-working office space, people could split the cost of housing. You might call it co-living.
We thought we were, creating this new thing, and then we researched it, and it's trending around the globe.
With the cost of 1- and 2-bedroom apartments soaring out of reach for most people early in their career, Dan Weiner designed an alternative to micro-housing, workforce housing, with more people sharing the cost of a larger space.
And it's also downtown living that's affordable. And it's all very forward-thinking that it's all on your phone, everything's included in your rent, including a cleaning service once a week.
Especially after the pandemic left people scattered and isolated, Weiner found this design built a road home, inviting more social living and solving another problem for employers downtown.
But having a hard time filling restaurant jobs and hotel jobs. Part of the reason is you can't afford to live near your job. So then you gotta own a car and live out, kind of in the burbs. So we wanted to create a housing type to get workforce people living downtown.
The end result? Old historic buildings revived with a new lease on life.
We don't look at New Orleans as a museum. We look at it as a living history.
Mark Maxwell, 5 on your side.
And next week, we find creative ways New Orleans unlocked affordable housing and built a road home for artists who help revive the city's vibrant spirit. Well, Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell joined us now with that weather first forecast, and it will not be as sunny tomorrow, right, Scott?
Not as sunny, not as warm, even more clouds and even cooler as we head into the weekend. But what a nearly perfect day today. Temperatures about 10 degrees above average. Kathy shared this picture from Eolia. She titled this one On Golden Pond. You can see why, because beautiful just before sunset. A lot of gold color in that photo. Right now in St. Louis, we're looking at still quite mild conditions. We're mainly clear, 71 degrees. Your southeast breeze is staying up overnight. That keeps things stirred up, which means most of us are going to stay in the upper 50s to maybe even mid 60s for lows by tomorrow morning. Our dew point's just 55. We did make it to 80 degrees today. So tonight, we're holding those temperatures up because of the breeze, and clouds will start to increase overnight. Should stay dry through tomorrow morning's rush hour, but here's your big storm system. It's up over Nebraska tonight. We've seen showers and thunderstorms stretch out ahead of that as the warm air is being pulled north into the system. We've been on the bonus round in that warm air the last couple of days with temperatures around 80 degrees. But as this storm system wraps up and pulls onto the north and east, with it, it is going to bring a band of showers and potentially a few thunderstorms. In fact, a couple of bands. First one comes in as we approach rush hour tomorrow morning out to our west. So maybe between 6 and 7 or so towards Bowling Green, out towards Herman, your chances really start to increase. But then it's mostly after 9 o'clock for the immediate metro area. Getting into Wentzville towards 8:30, 9 o'clock. At that point, most of the rush hours kind of winding down around St. Louis. And then we'll have those showers and a few rumbles of thunder in through lunchtime into the early afternoon. A bit of a break while we wait on the actual cold front. And then right along that front, we'll pop up a few scattered showers and thunderstorms, taking us through tomorrow evening. So that could impact some Friday night football games. But we don't see the ingredients coming together for us to have a large amount of severe weather across the region. The greatest chance for severe weather is up to our north, and even here it's just a 1 out of 5 risk, which includes the Bowling Green area. So it's not a big risk at all. Saturday, we have that partial eclipse. You definitely need the special sunglasses for this. The only problem is clouds are going to limit our visibility of it. We're in the upper 50s and lower 60s, still in the upper 50s, maybe even mid to upper 50s on Sunday. Both days will be brisk, breezy, not bright, and the mosquito forecast going into this weekend will stay in that medium category as we turn cooler with those gusty winds. There's your next 10 days. Temperatures go back below average here as we head into the weekend. 74 tomorrow. We will see some rain in most spots, but not guaranteeing you'll see a lot in any one spot, Ann.
All right, Scott, thank you. Corey, what's coming up?
Well, Jordan Binnington played one of the best games I've ever seen from him in the Blues opener, and we have a ton of soccer to talk about. Stick around, sports is up next.
The Sports Desk is sponsored by Jim Butler Chevrolet, the Midwest's #1 Chevy dealer 10 years running.
I love the feel of opening night. Anything is possible and everybody has a chance. The Blues are hoping this season brings a return to the playoffs, and they started that journey tonight against a talented Stars team in Dallas. Opening night deep in the heart of Texas, Craig Berube and his young Blues hoping for a strong start against one of the NHL's best teams. The Stars looked like they scored to end the first period, deflecting one past Jordan Binnington, but upon further review, they were offsides, no goal. 17 seconds into the second period, they would get the first goal. Perpetual thorn in the side, Jamie Benn scores up close in front of Jordan Binnington. Blues answer soon after. I bet you didn't have defenseman Tyler Tucker getting the team's first goal of the season, but that's exactly what happened. Tie game. Jordan Binnington was simply outstanding tonight. Look at all these highlight reel saves. The man was everywhere, standing on his head. He had 33 saves, including a clutch one to save the game and send it into overtime. This game would go to a shootout, though. Stars beat Binnington twice. Blues could only get one from Braden Shen. Jordan Kyrou stifled in the final chance to extend it. The Blues get a point, but the Stars get the opening night victory in a shootout. We just have an embarrassment of soccer riches in our town right now. City SC is the top seed in the playoffs. SLU men and women are excellent again. The Wash U women still haven't allowed a goal this season, and the high school action is as competitive as ever. Yes, it is a fun time on the pitch in St. Louis. Let's start tonight with the SLU women. Big A-10 matchup at home against UMass. The Bills have not lost a game since August 31st, and they weren't losing tonight. Look at this awesome goal. Emily Groark, header deflection, 1-0 SLU. They kept it pouring on. Emily Gaby follows her first shot and puts a second one in, 3-0 SLU. Second half now, more of the same. Caroline Kelly off the corner kick. That made it 4-0, and SLU rolls big over UMass, 6-0 at Herman Stadium. Cool soccer event tonight at Granite City High School. The Warriors hosted Collinsville for the inaugural Paz Cup. The event was set up to honor former Granite City soccer player and current Collinsville resident Alex Paz. Paz is currently fighting liver cancer, and proceeds from tonight's game will help his family cover medical expenses. These two rival soccer communities came together to help one of their own.
When we heard the news and learned about it and looked at the schedule and realized that the last regular season game in our soccer schedule was Collinsville at Granite, one of the most storied rivalries in Illinois soccer. Mr. Mode and I, the athletic director at Granite City, along with our groups within our schools, put together a great plan to get together tonight and help him out and honor him.
This 5 on Your Side St. Louis City SC coverage is sponsored by Together Credit Union.
City SC is still off for another 9 days before their regular season finale at City Park against Seattle. It's a comfy spot to be in if you're City SC. First place is secured, and all that's left is to see who wins the wild card game to secure a place as their first round opponent. But you know Bradley Carnell is not letting his team's focus slip, not even a little bit.
The last thing we want to do is think the season's over. Right? We want to stay in the moment, stay in the game, and keep our minds sharp. The minute, we think about what has been, that's the minute we take our foot off the gas, and we don't want that to infiltrate our four walls here, at the training facilities. So again, it's as much as how good we can finish off the season, how strong we can finish off, how far we can push this thing.
Here's your obligatory Taylor Swift at the Chiefs game opening shot. She really must like Travis Kelce if she has voluntarily watched the Bears, Jets, and Broncos play football this season. Big play from the Mizzou guy to start things for the Chiefs. Nick Bolton picks off Russell Wilson. Mahomes finds Kadarius Toney right here for the touchdown. Travis Kelce had 9 catches for 124 yards. Taylor liked that. Chiefs beat Denver 19-8. And that will do it for sports.
All right, Corey, thanks.
The thought of running out of candy for trick-or-treaters haunts many homeowners. The Candy Fairy, ready to come to your rescue on Halloween night.
The nation's largest retailer is once again giving workers Thanksgiving Day off. Walmart announced it will be closed on the holiday for the 4th straight year. Many retailers started closing on the holiday during the pandemic. In 2021, Target declared it would never open on Thanksgiving Day again.
Hear, hear. A recent survey from candy maker Mars found nearly half of Americans are scared they're going to run out of candy on Halloween night. The survey also found 89% admit to dipping into their candy stash intended for the trick-or-treaters. This year, Mars is deploying the M&M's Halloween Rescue Squad on October 31st, and they will come deliver free candy wherever GoPuff delivers.
And Scott loves those fun-size candy bars. He's
Oh,
here
the
with
really
our
little
final,
ones.
yeah, the
Tiny
little,
ones.
Really tiny?
he's
The
here
bites.
with the final check of the weather.
You know, I have comments, but we'll save that for later. I worry about the bucket running out because, you know, not the kids. I mean,
Hey,
some
you're
left.
stressed. You're stressed out.
Yeah. All right. So tomorrow, grab the umbrella. You won't need it for very long, but there'll be some times during the morning and again very late in the afternoon, early evening when we have a few showers around.
There you have it. 5 on your side at 10. The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon is next.